What is happening, Mark Bare Naked Willie? How you doing today, my brother?
Dave Cooper live. Happy BS Friday to you, brother.
Yeah. It is a BS Friday. It's snowing here in Pittsburgh. What's it doing in your neck of the woods?
22 degrees
Ah,
Fahrenheit. I mean, I wish it was 22 Celsius.
I'm-
But yeah, it's 22 with an F rather than a C.
I like the sea better. You know, how many people out there think I'm nuts for moving back to Pittsburgh when we were hanging out in all that nice sunny Florida, Alabama, Louisiana, Texas weather? I think I've lost my mind.
The thing is, it's up to your family. It's not up to other people. And you guys did a great job trekking around the world, bringing your visit to our computers and phones. So we thank you for that.
Well, you're welcome. I enjoyed every moment of it, and I'm continuing to enjoy every moment of it as we just got back from ECI and we just got back from all the other events, IWBCC. It has been an amazing, amazing end of year for us. Looking forward to the holidays and some fattening us up with some turkey. Hey, we're going to still do our live show on Friday, right?
Yeah, we're fortunate that we picked a Canadian for our guest so that they don't have the food coma because they've had their turkey day a few weeks ago. So we got a show. Yeah, nice hat, Adam. Thank you, brother. Greetings to our friend in London. There's little Adam and Alex running across. They're going to be back on the show. Last week, you all know the technical difficulties that happened with planes, trains, automobiles,
It did.
and electronics. Yeah, man, I can't wait for the show today, Dave. This is a great topic. We got some surprises for the audience.
Yeah, we do. It's going to be a great, great show, and looking forward to having this group on here. We have one more announcement, though, Mark. We have Christmas coming up not too long from now. We're going to have to start putting together our Christmas special, where we typically read a Dr. Seuss book for all of them kids out there. We have a lot of fun live on the show, so we want to start planting that seed now. So stay tuned from that. It's going to be right around the Friday closest to Christmas break is when we will do it, either before or day of. What day is Christmas this year? I don't even know.
It's Christmas Day.
Christmas Day. Good.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure your kids will tell you when Santa Claus is coming to town, and we'll pick a Dr. Seuss, and Dave always has some surprises, visually uplifting surprises on his screen. Dave's got elves dancing around his head. It's pretty magical.
It is.
All right.
All right, let's get to it, man. We got some guests sitting in the wind somewhere. I think well, you know what? I was just thinking you should dye your beard completely gray and come on as Santa Claus this year, but that's just saying. Or the Grinch, because you'd make a really good Grinch, by the way. I'm seeing a lot of nodding heads down below in the fish tank.
I know I would make a good Grinch. If anyone is in Chicagoland is listening, cover your ears. Everyone else, I've been asked to play Santa Claus this year, so I might have to do the whole white beard. Typically, I wear my green holiday suit, but I've been asked to be old Saint Nick.
I thought you were going to say old, and I was going to be like, well, what do you mean they're going to ask you for that? That's just natural at this point. All right. All right, Mark. So what are we getting into today?
Well, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, LinkedIn, YouTube has folks that will be asking questions. And fortunately, we have a team that can handle those questions and will be bringing up things you probably don't know about. That's the joy of having awesome presenters. So when it comes to green, when it comes to sustainability, there's a lot of folks that have jumped on that wagon and have flown in and out of that space. And there's a lot of folks that have littered it with greenwashing. And I'm here to tell you the folks today have been around the block. And in fact, they created the block. And I've known them for a long time. And I'm thrilled with the subject matter they're going to bring up, the solutions they're going to bring up, and how those products will benefit your homes and businesses.
That's right. And you don't have to be a builder for this one. You don't have to be a remodeler for this one. You don't even have to be a green expert for this one, because they have all the knowledge and the resources that you're going to need. So this is not only for those of us that are professionals out there, but the consumer. This is a good show for the consumer to tune into as well.
That's right. Grab your shopping cart. All the selections are made. Now just pick your size and color. They have it done. The heavy lifting is done. Go enjoy. Fill up your shopping carts, y'all.
Green is no longer gray. I love it. Let's get into it. All right, let's do it. You want to do the intro, Mark?
No, you're on this week.
Listen, everybody. So we're going to do a quick drum roll. Come on, Mark, drum roll. All right, we got the CaraGreen team sitting in with us today. What's happening?
Hey, guys.
Hello.
Thanks for having us.
No, thanks for being here. So this is going to be a lot of fun, and it's exciting. One, because you guys have put a ballet of coordination of products all together, right? From the exterior to the interior, for the professional, for the consumer. And it wasn't just put together haphazardly. It's been put together based on your travels and living in Southwest Asia, right? Europe, and here in the United States. And you collectively said, listen, there's some products we can't get here. So you know what? We're going to make our own and bring it here because it's that good. And you also know where the good, better, and best products are located in the world as well. And there's a trivia quiz. The United States, do we fit in the good product category, the better product category, or the best building product category?
I think we are the better. So, we're better than good, but we're not the best. I think, generally Europe tends to lead when it comes to specifically sustainable building materials.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, the nice thing about that, Jessica, is we have an example set. And once there's an example, now we just replicate and follow and, aspire and inspire.
Right. And we have all that learning. So any mistakes that have been made, that kind of, it's kind of a pipe cleaner scenario. So we're getting products that have either a proven track record or, kind of failure mechanisms that have already been addressed and are known.
Did you call it a pipe cleaner scenario?
Yes.
What?
I love it. My dad used to smoke a pipe, man. Captain Black. And he used to always have the pipe cleaners that you got to run in there. I know exactly what
pipe cleaners are more than just pipe cleaners. Even kids today still use them to make weird things.
Got artistic, if you will.
Yes. Yeah.
Got it.
Well, Dave has an awesome question to start you all off. Brace yourselves, roll back your shoulders, and here it comes, Dave.
All right, listen. All right, so there's three of you today, so we need to know a little bit about all of you. In fact, we want to know everything about you from the moment you were born to this very moment in time. Do not leave out any of the good stuff from the hospital, or we will call family members. We'll have them on the show, and it gets rather embarrassing for you. And when I say all the way to the birthing table, we want it all. But you guys only have 2 minutes to do it. You guys can share the stage. Go for it.
I'm Jessica McNaughton. I'm the president of CaraGreen, and a little background on me is, I'm an electrical engineer by trade and found my way into building materials and really kind of found my way up the ranks in sales. And, I've been with CaraGreen for about, 12 years with a brief hiatus to make some children in Hong Kong.
They make those there?
Yeah. I do. But I'm a very kind of shoot, straight shooter. I kind of call out the elephant in the room, and I'm very forthright. And one of the biggest things that I feel like CaraGreen has done is really brought in kind of the youth sort of. We've really invested in kind of the younger generation that is really passionate about these causes. And green building, and they're not doing it strictly for a paycheck, but it's something they can feel really good about. So, we don't run around out there looking for some guy that used to sell Corian for 25 years and try to bring him on board like some sort of expert. I'd rather have someone who knows what Twitch is. I'll let Raina and Rob introduce themselves.
I'm Rob. I'm based in Washington, D.C. I'm cover kind of the northeast section of the country for our sales team. I studied environmental biology in undergrad and then went on to get an MBA focused on sustainability. So I was drawn to CaraGreen again for that sustainability mission and kind of using business as a force for good.
Yep. I'm Raina Harrell. I have been with CaraGreen for about 4 years now. I cover most of the southern half of the United States, just as the territory manager. And I went to North Carolina State University and studied sustainable materials and technology. And it was just really a natural fit from studying those materials to now selling those materials and informing people about them.
Love it.
This
Well-
is great. Rob, Raina, Jessica, I love all that. I got stumped along the way a few times. One, I didn't realize that there was a program in the colleges and universities like that, Raina. So now that everyone in the audience has heard that, pass that on. Don't whisper it to your neighbors. Shout it, because that's a pathway. That's brilliant. I didn't know the electrical engineer side. I knew the straight shooter side. And what's funny is, here's a little tidbit for you, Dave. 25 years ago, I sold Corian, so I guess I won't be applying for a job. But, the funny thing is, when I talk about construction and performance, I always make the anecdote that don't spend the money on the countertop. There's so many other things to worry about. However, today I'm going to eat my own lunch, and I'm going to say, when it comes to countertops, please talk to CaraGreen, because they're the only trusted source out there when it comes to countertops. And the rest of them, just don't use a countertop. Wait until you can work with them.
So tell me, CaraGreen, like that. I mean, that's a big comment right there from Mark, right? The only trusted source in countertops. Let's break that down a little bit, because there's a why behind it. So, Mark, I think you should start putting a little bit of why behind it, and let's let them explain some of this stuff, because countertops are a big deal, man. I like my countertops. Like, you got all the stone countertops that are out there. You got the paper countertops that are out there. You got some new stuff I'm about to learn about that's out there that's even better than any of them. And I'm assuming that's where you're going.
Yeah, the why part is, well, first, I'm going to assume that everyone knows that granite is a one-of-a-kind thing and leave it alone. You're going to use it. It's a great source for gravel underneath your footings and foundations. It's a beautiful place to put it. Quartz kind of took on a whole little thing, and we will learn about that today. But I agree with what Dave said. There's some paper and some other materials. So why would we work with CaraGreen over other companies? Well, you guys explain that, because you're the expert.
Yeah, so we've curated a collection of products over time. And one of the things that we've been that we've acknowledged from the outset is that there is no perfect countertop. You have requirements for what you want in your home. Your life is happening in that space. If you're a chef, if you're a cook, if you like to socialize, you're transacting over that space. So it's really important that it means something to you. So, we know there's trade-offs in every type of countertop. Maybe you want color and you want Durat solid surface. Maybe you want, a matte finish that goes well with your polished cabinetry or something like that. That is paper stone. Paper stone has recycled paper. Durat has recycled plastic. Or maybe you want something that is just one step better than Mrs. Jones down the street who just redid her kitchen, and you want Lapitech sintered stone. So maybe you want the sintered stone because you care about the performance of it and the fact that it really is kind of the next best thing. Or maybe you want the Lapitech because it has no silica in it and it's safer for all the people that were involved in getting it to you. So we have all those different options. And when someone tells us what really matters to them, is it the cost? We really don't, if you're really concerned about cost, you're going to end up with something commodity. But if you're concerned about the story of your countertop and what it's made of, where it comes from, what was involved in the process, we can walk you through that. And we have all the different options. Most other manufacturers are kind of a one-trick pony, right? They're quartz and only quartz. Or they're, sintered stone and only sintered stone, or Corian and only Corian. Corian now has quartz and a porcelain line, but we can kind of walk you through the pros and cons of everything. And we have all these different options.
We used to have the dilemma that is our countertop actually food safe? And what I'm learning is we're graduating to, is it safe for the supply chain who are fabricating and conditioning and installing it? And at the end of the day, we want our countertop to be as yummy as what we put on top of it and what we discuss around it.
Agreed. And let's take an example. We have two brands of glass countertop. One is Geos and one is Gelassi. They both use recycled glass. Gelassi is made in Chicago. That is a great story. Geos is made in China. Where is the bigger recycling problem? It's in China. So is using Geos more important because you're diverting such massive amounts of waste into a countertop? Or is Gelassi better because we're using our US based waste and it's a local product? Those are the kind of trade-offs that people need to make. And we can inform.
Well, but they have the option, Jessica, right? So it's
Yep.
a yes and, I believe, your question, right?
Yep. And then it comes down maybe to aesthetics, but it's really talking to the customers, which is what Rob and Raina are so good at, and guiding them to the right solution that works best for what they're trying to accomplish.
By the way, have y'all hung out with the Gelassi folks?
Yes. I was at NeoCon earlier this year and we grabbed lunch, I believe.
Yeah.
Garrett and Jen
Wonderful
are
people.
great people, just
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
people. That's the other thing about all the products that we carry. We're partners with them. They're like part of the family. When I went to Durat in Finland, they came to the airport and picked me and my entire family up and drove us around to all these different meetings that I had, took my kids to an amusement park. I mean, they're just, it's a very family environment. So all the brands you see on here, those are people that are literally like family to us.
The Durat is a statement, right? When we used to, I always laugh and say drywall was invented by Sherwin-Williams and Benjamin Moore to sell paint. And it obviously that's not true. But anyway, the Durat statement that it makes is, one, we are making a commitment to the life of the kitchen.
Yes.
And now we're also building the rest of the symmetry and balance around this focal point, and the integration that they could do for the sinks and whatnot with that specialized color and repeatable color is pretty incredible.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. Why don't we do this? Because you guys really have curated a masterpiece of great products that you're not going to find at the Home Depots of the world and the regular building supplies of the world. And you have them where people here in the United States can get them. So I think it'd be really great to kind of walk through your product line through the website here just a little bit. And let's talk about each category. So we hit on countertops, right? Let's talk about the walls a little bit. And then let's really get into your vision and mission and your culture behind all of this, because this all came from a passion somewhere, right? And I think it's really important for people to understand that, because people buy people, right? And then they buy the products. And when people understand why people do something, that's when they really get into the products. And I think that's what's super important. So let's take a look at the products here, and then let's get into the people portion of this, because the two on the right and left, they're not talking a whole lot, but don't worry, that's going to come out in a big way here soon. Yeah. All right, so here we go. So we got walls. What do you have in walls?
So some of the countertop materials we have can be used on the walls too. So, with paper stone, we have the recycled paper composite, comes in some thinner thicknesses, can go on as wall cladding. They also have a rain screen product that can go on the exterior walls, which is pretty cool.
Wow.
Who would have thought that recycled paper is going to go on the exterior of a building, but it can, and it's UV stable. Other wall products, we do carry some acoustic materials with recycled PET felt. Those are quite popular across the commercial project scope that we work in. Other wall options on the bio-based side are organoid, which is 100% bio-based wall covering made with alpine hay, wildflowers, coffee, really all over the place, different natural materials. It's
cool.
Super cool story, made in Austria. It smells and feels like the natural materials it's made of, which is really unique for any wall covering we've seen.
So on the website there is what this sample is. So this is alpine hay with wildflowers, and it kind of smells like not being in a barn. That's like animals. It feels like being outside,
Like in a hayfield.
in a hayfield. Yeah.
And what's the thickness of that?
It's like a wallpaper. So it comes in a roll, and you just clad the wall with it, just like a wallpaper.
And
Wow.
this one here is cornflower blossoms, blue ones. I believe they also have a red one.
Can you
Yeah.
blow that up? Hold on,
Now,
hold on.
now, Raina, when people are going through the samples and learning and going through selections, don't they do what you just did, and they literally touch it and smell it, not just look at it, but it's all the senses, right?
Yeah, exactly. And on the cover of the pamphlet, the organoid pamphlet, there's a man who has the sample up to his nose and he's just sniffing it. But yeah, this one's touch, feel, smell.
Have they ever gone through, like, they tested this with pets in the house? Do they kind of just like migrate to the wall and sniff the daylights out of it?
I don't know if they have a cat next to this.
No, yeah.
That might be a custom one.
They have hops, which is kind of cool. As you gotta keep the husbands off that one. But they've done most of their testing is like allergy testing, durability testing, and it holds up incredibly well. And one of the things a lot of our products do is bring nature into a space. So when you talk about, in the beginning, you talked about what a commercial could do versus residential. Well, bringing nature into a space and having that experience is called biophilic design, and it is so popular right now. And you can do it with as simple as part of your closet has like a Zen area, and you have a lavender wall, made with organoids. So it's a really cool way to bring nature into a space without all of the maintenance of, large scale plants and things like that.
I thought of a quote or a strategy, and it might be bad, but sometimes it's good. Pet tested, nature approved.
Yes.
And like people can take photographs of the samples that they get for their selection process with the nose of their pets, and that would be enjoyable to watch.
Well, it would be
people have some
fascinating.
goofy pets.
It'd be fascinating today because in our office we have a Carolina dog, which is a mutt, a Great Pyrenees, and then a brand new baby Bernese Mountain Dog. Yeah.
For now.
Yeah, I know.
He's only that big for
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, they're all this big.
Yes. Yeah.
Perfect. All right, let's get back to her then. I mean, all right, I'm loving it. Maybe I need that on the back of my studio wall here.
Yep.
That'd be kind of cool, right? All right.
Also, Dave, when you're surrounded by all those electronics,
Mm-hmm.
how does that make you feel versus how does that nature make you feel, right? So it's putting that balance
Right.
in what you're humanly connected to.
You're giving me the yin and the yang. That's what you're saying.
Yeah. With biophilic design, and we're bringing nature into the space, it seems like what we're focusing on is that sustainability part of the story, the environmental friendliness, but biophilic design is so much more focused on the occupant and the person who's within the space. It's actually having beneficial impacts on your body's like regulatory systems. So lowering your heart rate, lowering stress level, keeping you focused. So it's something we talk a lot about with our architect and designer customers to, teach them about those positive impacts.
Well, I
Your
mean,
voice and delivery lowers my heart rate as well. Like you just you got it just right. Like if we were to go back to the 25-year Korean salesman, like usher them out the door, stage left. You got it down, Rob. I like that.
Thank you.
Well, because for a lot of people, when they hear biophilic design, it's not an approachable word, right? It's a foreign word still, but you delivered the rationale, and it was great. Thank you.
Thank you.
yeah, for sure. I'm going to just be flashing up some of the comments that are coming in just so we can make sure we get everybody up there. Let's get back to all these different products because we got a lot to get through. All right, so here we are. So now we talked about the walls. Let's talk about sound control.
All right. So that first picture, those are some acoustical tiles made from recycled PET. So
Back here.
Is that what that is too?
Yes.
Nice. Yeah. So
No, it's not. I need it back here.
Yeah. We got you. We got you covered.
we'll
I love
send
it.
to you. Yeah, so they're made from recycled water bottles. So we're diverting that waste and turning it into something useful.
Yeah.
So, Raina,
Wow.
on the Cure, right? They're a longstanding company. They have a variety of things. This particular product,
Wow.
so we're aesthetically attracted to it. Now that we know how it's made or what it's made of, we're happy about it. What about the install? Do I have to be a rocket scientist to install it?
You do not. So some of their products just peel and stick on the wall. Most of them are applied with adhesive. So they're really straightforward. And they have very clear instructions on how to install those materials.
I would say if you venture back in time when showrooms were given pieces by Cure, that's what mesmerized the people in the showrooms. They understood that the natural material was a flagship in these spaces. And this is a real development, the acoustic. And it seems perfect for the fact that most people work out of their home dwellings, right? And so they need that calmness and the sound, but we have to do this in a way that beautifies. So they nailed it by this one.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that goes with that biophilic design aspect of, keeping your sound and your space calming and not echoing around everywhere. And actually, the organoid product that we were looking at before, you can not only use it as wallpaper, but you can order it on a PET panel and put it up like a piece of artwork, but it has that panel behind it to capture some of the sound in that room.
Wow.
Awesome. So it's a feature as well.
It's a feature, yeah.
I love it. And then what else do we got here? We have Epanco. Is that how you say it? That's flooring?
Expanco.
Expanco. Thank you for that.
Expanco.
Yeah, Expank.
Feel like I'm in a nightclub all the time. Expanco.
So they're really a cork company,
Nice.
a flooring company, and they've been around for over 100 years. But cork is actually maybe 80 or 90% on a molecular level. It's air. So it has this honeycomb structure, just full of these air pockets. And that's what makes cork a really good product for sound in a space.
Yeah, I love if y'all haven't walked on a cork floor, when you get the chance, and assuming your feet are clean, do it. It is amazing. Also, just being in the space, regardless of the sound benefits, it is a calming thing. And the durability, I guarantee you, is better than you can ever imagine.
Yep. It's definitely. It's also warm underfoot, and you can, you can like do radiant heat.
Cork.
You can.
You can put radiant under cork.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's already kind of warm underfoot.
It has to be built for it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But that's a really nice benefit, especially in, say you're in a cold climate where you didn't used to be in one before.
Oh man, you guys are doing skate parks?
Yes. That's actually a paper stone product. Gator Skins is very similar to paper stone, and it competes with Skate Light by Richlight. But yeah, we sell a lot of that. It's really durable, great for outdoor use. As we were saying, paper stone is good for cladding. You could see here that it's obviously used for these skate parks.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah, I used to do the skate parks when I was younger.
Yeah.
Tried it recently with my 6-year-old, and it was a very painful experience.
Yeah, make sure it's not too painful. I've had a couple of incidents.
Thankfully,
cool.
they have helmets today.
I know, right?
It's interesting. Very seldom, I think, do people understand the connection that material is used for the skate parks, which tells you the durability of these little rolly wheels being landed and ridden upon with the grit and grime.
Yeah, and it's funny because the base material that's used in paper stone and gator skins, the base technology behind it was used for concrete release forms. So it's a really durable material to use for concrete release forms, and you kind of get that nice smooth finish and pull the concrete off. But
Interesting.
so that kind of talks to its durability given the moisture within concrete.
Yeah, so a concrete release form, like for many applications, but probably for the massive amount of pools like in California and whatnot.
Yeah.
Right. Or foundational work, even in just a regular structure. Yeah.
We need Tony Hawk, if you're out there listening, come take a visit to CaraGreen and pick out your next countertop, and that would be great. Thanks, Tony.
I'll just give him a call. I got one of his boards. I need him to sign it from when I was a kid.
Cool.
Yeah, I love it. So I'm going to be your biggest customer. So I got sound panels I need to order from you already because I do need some sound panels. And you just convinced me. I think I'm going to do a little mini half pipe, like a little 10 by 10 one in here.
Yeah.
So I can sit there and I can, get my stress out. How cool.
Yep.
I've always wanted a house that I could have my own skate park in.
Mm-hmm.
So Dave,
Maybe old, but I still love it. Huh?
Dave, if you're going to put a skate park in your house, make sure you also acoustically control the house. Because you do have
No kidding.
Who
just has one of these sitting around?
Mm-hmm.
This guy. This is one of those balance board ones. You put it on. I stand on this when I work to keep working on my balance.
Oh, nice.
It's not working, Dave.
Hey, Mark, come on now. It's a kid-friendly show. All right. I wasn't kidding. We got more stuff to get through here. I know. It's me that's causing the problems. Cladding. Let's talk. Go ahead, Mark. Sorry.
No. Cladding is perfect. That's a segue here. We have some favorites, but we're not going to talk about favorites. Let's talk about the options. Who's taking cladding from the CaraGreen team?
I'll handle it. So
yeah,
the first
scoot over to your left a little bit so we can see it. Go like that.
So we see paper stone on there first. That was the one I mentioned earlier, but they have an exterior rated cladding line for rain screens, ventilated facades. Lapitec's a great option for that as well. Doing the ventilated facades, that's going to be more of a stone-like material. Paper stone is a little more, kind of has a wood feel to it, I guess. It's a little warmer to the touch than, something like Lapitec, where it's a very hard, durable stone, and different textures, glossy, matte, even texture, kind of bumpy feel to it that looks great in combination with each other, or one uniform finish for the whole building. But you can see in some of those install photos, they have it all over the place. You can do pool surrounds, you can do exterior or interior cladding, flooring, countertops. So without having a stone material that doesn't have a resin in it, makes it really durable in terms of its color stability, but also like scratching, stain resistant. There's really nothing.
Rob, so let's say the people involved on the project find a Lapitec color, thickness, everything they like for their install. What is the next step for how it's procured and received?
Yeah, so once the color, finish, thickness, all that's chosen, if it's going to be for the ventilated facade, we might do some work with the Lapitec technical team to get maybe some help on the drawings and the installation techniques. What cladding system do you want to use with this? There's a few recommendations available, and we also on the ventilated facade side can offer the cut to size slabs. So in that format, it's oftentimes, it's a little more helpful on the construction side if you could prefabricate those walls and kind of just throw it on the building all in one big piece. So that's an option available as well.
And on the sustainability side, we like the cut to size because at the factory, if they have any exclusive or kind of lower grade slabs, when they use the cut to size, they can use up all that material, right, to make the smaller tiles.
Yeah.
Like so it's a really great way to repurpose some of that.
So someone would receive pallets or trucks depending on the volume needed, and then you follow the paint by number in front of you for the install. And a little fact that our audience is probably really geeking out about, Rob, is when you said it's a ventilated facade. So you're not just concerned with the aesthetics. what you said there tells me you're concerned with the life cycle and durability of that awesome product. And I praise you for saying that.
Thanks. Yeah. So
Well done. Go ahead.
On the, if we're ordering smaller things, not the ventilated facades, obviously, you might share a truck or something like that. But me and Raina are here to kind of guide anyone, whether it's a homeowner project or big commercial building.
Perfect.
Yeah. Partitions. Who's taking partitions?
You got it?
I can go. So with CaraGreen, lots of, acoustic PET felt partitions out there. They're really good for, the flexible office spaces that we've been seeing a lot of after COVID and all the quarantine. Everyone's reformatting their offices. Those have been really popular to divide up the space without putting in a permanent wall, kind of keep the air open flow. You can use some of the solid surface materials as partitions. Paper stone in particular has been a popular material for bathroom partitions, believe it or not. They have a wide range of thicknesses that really makes it good. So it can be 1/8 of an inch thick all the way up to 1 1/4 inch. So good.
That also speaks to the durability of those products, because the standards necessary for commercial baths are very rigid.
Right.
And
durability and cleanability.
Cleanability.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So you
But it doesn't last.
necessarily think that it's non-porous or bleach cleanable. Can
Bleach
hold up to all of these chemical solvents, but
It's held up to my 3 children for about 7 years.
also 3 children.
Yeah. And it can be refinished. So say you are in a commercial bathroom and say someone does take their, OPI nail polish and write, Vanessa is queen, then you can go in there with a, you can remove it and you can, refinish the whole thing. So that's a great thing about paper stone and the solid surface Durat is those can be refinished. So that really talks to durability too.
Yep.
That's great.
It's so interesting because a lot of those materials, I would think some consumers have heard of them in the likes of the work surfaces and the tops, but the fact that there is the varying uses does speak to that durability and UV stability, which is a huge quality.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Mark, you wouldn't know it, but when I did the first LEED certified modular home in New Jersey, we used paper stone countertops.
Wow.
That was back in 2007, 2008.
Cool.
It was on the cover of Builder Architect magazine.
Nice.
Somewhere around here, I got a picture on the wall, but I'd have to break down my cameras.
Yeah,
But
wait, Dave, go ahead.
For us?
Yeah.
What's that?
I said, you're not going to do that for
Dave,
us?
go ahead. Go through the boxes.
Yeah. No, I haven't. It's actually hanging on the wall over there. Everything's a fixed camera at the moment. I'll take a picture and put it up. How about that?
Okay,
Perfect.
We'll take it.
Good. We're losing everybody. Where are they all going?
We're finding a charger.
I know.
I was going to say you're probably plugging in because we're talking the electricity right out of the room.
I know.
It's great.
No, it's all good.
Uh,
All good.
so we have a plethora for the commercial, for the residential. We covered one of my favorite words, the biomimicry, and now Dave left too.
Yeah, that's all right.
I think he's grabbing a cord for you guys.
No, thank you. Thank you. Perfect.
Thanks, Dave.
It's grabbing a picture, man.
You really have a picture? Come on.
Look, it's on my wall.
Oh my God.
You got to come through. I'll upload it. Give me a minute.
There you go. There you go. So we have a whole exciting construction season coming up in front of us, Raina, right? So isn't now during the holiday time when we don't want to fuss and we just want to prepare our spaces, isn't now a good time to go through samples and start prepping for our next project?
Yeah, absolutely. If you have some downtime, just have a cup of hot chocolate, look over your samples.
We'll send you a gift box. One of the things that we started doing this year was we actually every month we pick a color and we put together a gift box for anyone who signs up. And we send them a little box, which it's all set up with the color of the month. So it's called our
It's
monthly
designed
news.
not to be opened. That's the design, right?
Yes, and it's a little gift box, and it has samples in it, like you were describing, and we send samples out all the time for free. But then we've got cute little things like this little turkey ornament. So just some kind of things to sort of engage people a little bit beyond.
Let me blow it up.
One.
Yeah, so this is the coffee that we were talking about, and so on.
Yeah.
So
Oh, that's yummy. What
yeah.
product is that one?
It's organoid. It's kind of like a vegan leather. It's made of coffee grounds.
A vegan leather.
Come
Is that what you said?
on.
yeah, so
Are you
that's kind of,
serious?
mhm.
It literally smells like coffee
Smells
too.
like coffee
Smells
now.
so
Like
good.
strong.
And then you just put it on as a wall covering.
Yeah, like if I was at a coffee bar, I would have that be the whole facade.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, coffee with Dave, coffee background. Perfect.
Yeah.
Is there a hot chocolate color in any of these product
They
lines?
did.
Does anyone?
Paperstone has
Green.
chocolate and mocha.
And then Organoid
Mocha.
did a custom wall covering for, I think it was Swiss Miss,
Yeah.
the hot chocolate company, and they said that the whole factory smelled like chocolate for weeks because they were pressing all the scrap from the cocoa production into a wall covering, so the whole
Really?
factory was smelling real nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really cool. All right, let me show you this real quick. Ready?
Yes.
Look at
That was the
Oh yeah.
we had Paperstone counters in there. Obviously, that's Jennifer, and that's our two
Yeah.
twin daughters back in the day.
What? Cute.
Those
Yeah.
girls have grown up to be hockey players. They're
Really?
Nice.
Yeah, both of them play competitive ice hockey. They're 14
Wow,
now.
that
Yeah.
explains the Pittsburgh thing.
Thank you. Right? I
Yeah.
know. That's why we're here.
Yeah, yeah. Sidney Crosby.
Jessica, you just got
Sidney
some
Crosby.
points with the Coopers.
You
I
did.
know.
You
Hey,
did.
hey,
You.
hey. All my good friends here are Pittsburgh fans.
All roads lead back to Pittsburgh. I don't
Yeah,
know why.
yeah.
It seems that way,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
Well, you guys actually have one of the most amazing buildings that we always use as an example when we do talk about biomimicry, which is that one that breathes, right? You have like a breathing building downtown that has flaps that open, under certain
We do.
weather conditions. Yeah, I'll send that to you.
Yeah, I didn't know that. We just moved back to Pittsburgh 2 months ago. So
Yeah.
not if- maybe a little longer.
One of my friends is a big GC there, and they built that building, so it's cool.
It's
That's really neat.
interesting. One of the jokes we tell in building science is if your building starts breathing, run.
This was
Yeah.
designed to breathe.
Yeah, right. That's it. I agree.
When we get that, Jessica, from your buddy's build in Pittsburgh, I have a task for Dave and his family to do a ride along with our buddy Rob Hoskin and do a thermal imaging
Yeah.
photograph of the breathing
Yeah.
Pittsburgh PGH building. That'd be
That'd be
wicked.
cool. Yeah. Let's do it.
PNC Tower.
Yep.
There you go.
Rob
to
just
the
put it in there.
win.
What's up,
Yeah.
Rob? I know. I wish we had like gifts and prizes, right? Shannon Pendleton says go to the Children's Museum. Yeah, we've been down
That's
there
another
before.
one. They
It's
have
amazing.
a ton of our materials in there too.
Do they?
Yeah. I took my kids there when I was in Pittsburgh because we did that half marathon there. So I took the kids and we went to the Children's Museum, and then
Yeah.
Scripps has a ton of stuff too.
Awesome.
I
Scripts,
like to
where's
do the
Scripps?
half marathon.
The half of the half?
Yeah, that's called getting up and going to the fridge and grabbing a beer.
Yeah, you guys doing a turkey run this year?
We do. We have one in my neighborhood. We have a turkey trot.
Yeah, we'll do one. I do one with my brother and sometimes the kids if they want to show up. Look who else is in the house, Mark. We got Greg Ugaldi, Dave, Jen, Mark, CaraGreen team is very informative. If you don't know Greg, I don't know how I have to still introduce Greg. Greg's the guy that updates President of the United States a couple times a year on housing. He is the head of the National Association of Home Builders for 2 years. Now he's the past chair, but he did 2 tours around the sun, and he's been a huge supporter for this show, BS Friday. He really believes in it and for building systems as well. So we always love to give Greg a shout out when he comes on the show because we love it when we have the attention of Washington, D.C.
Oh, great.
That's right.
Thanks, Greg.
Yeah, thanks, Greg.
All right. So what have we not covered on this amazing website here? So we did partitions. I think we've kind of done everything. What we haven't done is gotten the buy-in to how this all came together. How about we do that?
Yeah. So the background is, CaraGreen is founded by a family that, it was a private equity guy, a builder, and a designer, and they were building the first LEED building in Chapel Hill. And so they were trying to find materials, couldn't find them. So the designer said to the builder guy, do these materials make sense? And then the private equity guy, and again, they're all brothers and sisters, said, yeah, let's build a business here. And that was about 14 years ago now that CaraGreen was founded to curate all these brands and bring them together. We've evolved over time because the terminology went from green, which, as you mentioned, greenwashing, then became sustainability. And then it became about health, and not just human health, but the health of the planet. So, or not just health of the planet, but human health as well. So the products that we've curated over time are meant to be a portfolio that you can choose from, but it's not an all or nothing thing. So when LEED came to be, people felt like, I have to get platinum, I have to get gold, I have to get silver. When we talk about biophilic design, it's not an all or nothing thing. You can bring in a little bit of nature into your space. You can bring in Cuscus plywood, which has this beautiful color and natural wood grain. But knowing how your body is reacting to these materials, did you know that seeing wood, the natural wood grain is soothing? So a laminate with a fake wood grain is not as soothing as natural wood grain. So bright colors, they incite you to do certain things. Other colors calm you. So understanding kind of how your physiology relates to building materials lets you use them in a way that you can create a healthier space. And it's not an all or nothing. It's not a $2 million investment. It can be a $200 investment. And that's what we're here to help you do, is to do as much or as little as you want to make your space healthier.
You know what? I love this because not only am I hearing about the space being healthier, it also sounds like you'll be more productive if you're happy where you're sitting and what you're doing, and more creative. For Mark's case, like he's a creative kind of guy, right? And I think
how productive are we, Dave, if we're unhealthy? Right? Talk about a sound. Wah, wah, wah.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I got that one.
Yeah. So the touch, the feel, the smell, the know, right? This perks us up. I can't wait to see what Dave picks out of your sample box for his background. If he builds that half pipe, I think that will be a riot, and I'm gonna not take responsibility for that. But in 2023, do you guys see yourself? Where do you guys see yourself as being the most active? I would say. I know that's such a broad question, but if you can guess.
Well, I don't think it is. I think one of the biggest things that we focus on is creating awareness and letting people know about all these great building materials, because these are small and medium brands that don't have these huge marketing budgets. So while we're making people aware of these brands, what we're doing internally, where we focus now, is building the transparency side of the materials and pushing back on the manufacturers to make them better. So we have a tagline, create better. We believe in create better. We believe that we can create more awareness, but we need our manufacturers to be eliminating things that are hazardous, putting better practices in place. That's what we're working to do behind the scenes while we're giving you these great products, we know we can help make them better.
Oh, that's deep. That's good. Well, the whole industry needs it, right? Because formerly we went through this whole thing of no added urea formaldehyde. Like people were using that phrase and they don't even know what the heck it was, but it was transformational because that became the new standard. So
well, you're right. If you talk like a great example that brings us back to what we talked about in the beginning about good, better, best, FSC is something we use over here, right? It is such a cumbersome process that's not really resulting in the things that we wanted. When I'm bringing wood products over from Europe, they don't even worry about FSC because their baseline standard is better. So they're already, their practices are in Finland are just, top of the line. So again, it goes back to, we're putting these standards in place for paperwork, but the paperwork is not enough, right? So you're starting to see platforms calculate the embodied carbon in materials, and you're starting to see designers have baseline minimums for red list free. So that's what we're working with, to make sure that the brands that we're doing continue to push themselves to get these required documentation and to make themselves better.
I have a humdinger for you based on that. Since the door is open, you said at the onset and again right now that there's a level of progression in Europe that has not hit here. We're on a catch up or delay phase. So one of the fastest ways I feel to bring what's going on over there here is to say that those standards and testings and processes don't have to be repeated here.
Mm-hmm.
We need to adapt and accept. So rather than us say, oh, well, now we have this FSC, and sorry if people are going to be on the FSC train. It's not meant for that. It's just an example. But if the standard is above it already somewhere, then just accept it here. Let's not go through the time and cost of everything here just because we material and a different lens. Learn the other lens, because life cycle analysis and EPD, all this kind of stuff, it's done. The heavy lifting is done. Bring it. You can analyze it and make sure all those boxes are there, but don't create a circle where there's a box. We don't need a round peg and square hole thing.
Yep, agreed with all that.
Yeah, and I think part of the whole like certification disclosures, there's so many out there right now, and like it's kind of, in my eyes, one of the biggest factors preventing us from like living this perfect, sustainable dream of like a society where there's no impacts is we constantly have to check all these boxes to meet 5 different frameworks that essentially are all working towards the same thing. It's just making that process more difficult. So something we're trying to do is identify which is the catch-all, like which certification, which test, which disclosure is the best one to encapsulate the rest of them. Which one are we going to bet on moving forward?
Do you actually have to certify? This is the thing that always gets me, right? When we were doing our lead certified builds, and I get it, there's people doing a lot of work, right, to make sure it's meeting certain levels of finish and passive house certification or lead and all that. But as soon as you mention that number of what it takes to certify, then people, a lot of people back off. They're like, well, yeah, but that pays for my paper stone countertop. I don't care if I get certified, right? So that starts happening as well because of the cost to do it. Versus, I hear what you're saying in regards to like, there's all these different certifications. One, it gets really confusing for the consumer. Who knows what the best is, right? It's confusing for me even, because they all have good stuff. But, which ones go way too far, which ones get you right to where you need to be, and which ones fall short. That's the problem here. And then, like you said, it's too confusing. And as much as I hate to say it, there's money being made certifying. And should be, because you're bringing in experts that have the knowledge. I get all that, but it's still hard.
Yeah. And you're right, because one of the most interesting things happening now in the industry at a very, very high level is this environmental and social governance, this ESG money. So all these private equity firms lumping, that could be a whole other episode, is, that money is going to decide what is valued, right? What certification is probably going to come from where the dollars are going and what they're saying. So when we talk about biophilic design, that's to say, you can let the corporate guys figure out what the standard's going to be, but you can still build a healthy home at a very minimal level that fits your budget.
Ooh, I got an idea.
About all or nothing, like with biophilic design, it's the same thing for the building standards. You can build to a LEED gold standard, but you don't have to certify your building and pay to have it certified. You can just follow the standards that are available and make a healthy building. But if you don't need the stamp of approval, you don't have the plaque of approval. You don't have to pay for that.
Yeah, that's perfect, because it's voluntary and because most of it is out there. You can use the checklist that everyone has done the heavy lifting on, and just as you guys have done. You guys have done the heavy lifting. I don't have to scour Google and listen to what my little searches tell me. I could just go to the website and say, this is curated for me.
Yep.
So, Mark, all right, that's exactly it. Why can't there be a website where you can buy all of your building materials, all your interior and exterior finishes, like one place? And I know there's some places out there that are starting. And as long as you buy from our site, you're going to fall within the category of some sort of really healthy home because you're using all the curated parts and pieces that already exist, not just a select few. So, CaraGreen team, I expect when I see you back on in another month, you have that done. Okay.
We got it done. Squared away. Rob, that's you.
There
I
you
was
go.
like, shut up, Dave. Shut up, Dave. This is good until now.
What do you got for Raina to do?
I'm going to give you a small reprieve there, Rob. It won't be a month, but what do you guys think of first quarter next year? Are you in?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, but what if these programs were curated around somebody that had all the building supplies, right? And then you take that, and then you go after that ESG money and you curate all of it and put this all together. I mean, we may just not be looking at it the right way. Maybe everybody's looking at it from the consulting side. Well, maybe we should look at it from a supply side and see if there's a way to capture some of that funding and money to build out something that helps everybody versus pay to play.
Yeah,
that's my 2 cents. I'm sure I'm going to get lit up in the comments of being a jerk.
Let's get lit up because in the terms of scarcity, what do we have the least of? And the answer will always be time, right? In terms of scarcity, that's what we have the least of. So if you want to do good, if you want to be good, you have just saved your entire project team time because it's all there. Back to the shopping cart. It's all there. So maybe we have a crystal ball show, right? And we call it the ESP of ESG.
All right. I like that.
And no MSG.
No MSG. No.
Perfect. Well, listen, we're out of time. Did we cover everything that you wanted to make sure you put out there? Because this is your chance. Did we miss something? Is there anything we didn't bring up that is super important? You're going to say, dang it, Mark, we missed that.
No, I mean, I think you nailed it, right? When people are trying to go out, they don't have to go to 50 different manufacturers' websites to try to find this. And is this true? Is this true? You know, all of that. We have a blog post that we cover a lot of really important topics in the industry that no one else likes to talk about. And, you know, that's what we are. So we're open to ideas, product suggestions, and anyone who wants to kind of, you know, dig into some of our claims and help us make things better.
There you go. Go to caragreen.com for more information and how to contact you guys as well, right?
Yep.
Say yes. That's right. All right. All right. I love it. I love it. I think we just solved one of the biggest problems out there. The supply chain for the products that we need to just let anybody go and curate their own builds, remodels, or new product for their wallpaper, whatever the case is, right? Or in my case, a skate park indoors. Yes. And soundproof walls and those. I want those round things hanging from my ceiling. I mean, how cool is that?
We got you.
All right, listen.
The coffee ones too, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we need the coffee for the coffee with Dave's. That's awesome. All right, well, listen. Thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thanks for having us. This was really fun. Thanks.
Yeah, a lot of fun. If you guys ever make it to Pittsburgh, make sure you let us know. It'd be a lot of fun to go walk some of these buildings. Maybe we can get Mr. Hoskins out there to take us on a tour. I don't know if you saw, but he has geothermal pictures of that PNC building as well.
Very cool.
Not geothermal.
Or not geothermal. Thermal imaging. Sorry. Yeah. I know. See, that's why I'm not the expert. There you go. All right. Listen, everybody. So next week's a light week. We are doing BS Friday, but Monday, Wednesday, we are off because we are doing Thanksgiving stuff this week with our family and friends. We will be doing our BS Friday show with Mark. So we have never missed a show. Each of us has missed a show, but we have never missed an entire show off the air in over 2 years. This BS Friday show.
2.5 years and growing.
He's the expert. 2.5 years and growing. You're absolutely right. And it is growing. We're being watched over 10,000 hours every 28 days on YouTube. And heck, our bigger audiences are on LinkedIn. I wish there was a way to capture that, but my guess is it's a lot. So super, super excited. All right, CaraGreen team, thank you so much. Everybody else, you will see me tomorrow for coffee with Dave. I have not decided whether it's a coffee or an espresso. It depends on how much time I have. We do have a hockey game at 8:15 a.m. tomorrow. So, Mark, anything you want to put out there before we end?
I'm looking forward to every Friday with this incredible audience. I appreciate the comments. And I should correct my earlier statement. Don't grab your shopping cart. grab your own recycled shopping bags and keep using them with CaraGreen. We don't need more carts. And
That's right.
thank you all for being here. Rob, Raina, Jessica, appreciate all the work you do for us.
Yeah,
Thank
we
you.
do. And big show coming up. International Builder Show, end of January. Mark's going to be there. I'm going to be there. And we're going to have a full live production crew there. Wait until you find out what we're doing, because we will be doing the Dave Cooper Live Show on location from the big stages, not from the little stages this year. So we're making some great progress and doing a lot of talking. Mark's going to be with me on most of this journey. So we look forward to seeing all of you out there. So CaraGreen team, do not go anywhere. We'll come back to you after the outro. For the rest of you, hey, listen, it's Friday. Enjoy the weekend. Hug your family. Have a great time. But remember, Monday's the day we get back to building it better. So wake up refreshed and let's hit the ground running. I'm Dave Cooper. We'll see you next time.